So we're like approaching levels and then immediately reversing, approaching levels, attempting to break out and immediately reversing. So breakout levels are fake outs, actual levels. Momentum is dying before we can make it there, you know. So it's fun to watch, but I'm playing with like extremely small size, and I've been trading through like when it comes to futures, through a C Trader, CR. You know, it has to be C Trader. But it sucks because I can't access MarketSpy on it, and I'm like a blind bat. I have no clue what it is that I'm looking at. They have like templates, like what is it, like momentum, pivots, and stuff like that. Volatility. You select the volatility template, and it gives you BB bands, basically, Bollinger bands, and that's that. So. Anyways, it was glitching out, and then my broker, the integration with their exchange, Black Bull Markets, I was working with them for a while, but they basically you can't send orders through TradingView to that broker, and they're like pointing fingers at each other. So if you go to TradingView, they're like, oh yeah, it's a Black Bull, and Black Bull is like, man, that's bull, man, it's TradingView. You know, we've been having this conversation with them for the past 2 years, every 2 weeks, right? And they keep saying, we'll fix it. And basically orders are not canceling, they're not going through. Extremely dangerous, especially if you're trading NQ, Forex. It's extremely, extremely dangerous. So I kind of gave up on that and came back to Bitcoin over here, just to deal with this. I mean, look at this. Kick, what is up? My only viewer on Kick this time of the hour. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, my friend. So, you like that bass drop? You're gonna hear more of it as you join. I'm gonna spam the bass drop. It's not that aggressive, it's okay. Yeah, so 1% crew, let's go. If you have the tools, I mean, tools are everything, right? Like, why don't we have poet-like integration with these other so-called they're all in the retail sector, but they don't have these. It's like they don't want to give you the tools, man, because everybody loses money on commissions from the broker, the crook, the promoter. Everybody loses money, and the retail trader, right? What is up, retail? Let's take it back. Let's be retail about it. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them shame you. It's a retail takeover. There's nothing they can do about it. Everybody, listen. When you walk away from your whatever it is that you're doing in life, you go retail. You go shopping. You go consuming. You go creating. You're in the retail space. So just take it and run with it and be proud of it. You know, I trade a family fund now. I'm a retail trader by definition. And this is the Cryptopocalypse Now desk, ladies and gentlemen, beaming live straight from the pit. So, yeah, last night's stream was amazing. I really enjoyed that. Good number of people joined, and I'm just testing time zones to see what is happening. Now, it's really hard to deal with my partners in the US right now because we're out of options, man. You can't have Bybit, you can't have these offshore exchanges, you can't do this, you cannot do that. There's too much regulation, and in order to participate in the markets, you need to be like this super accredited $1 million plus investor. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, they'll just, I'm not gonna say that word, but you know, they'll do something to you, to your account. They'll violate your account, and you through like taxes and other things. and it's just leave me alone, man. So what are people supposed to do? They're telling you cannot gamble, you cannot trade, because it doesn't matter what it is. They're like, no shortcuts in life, man. You gotta go back to the grind, out on the streets. And that's, so it's shitty everywhere. That's all I'm gonna say. I've been around the world. Like you go locally and you eat the food, you're like, this is amazing. But then like 1 month in, take any country, exotic or otherwise, and you're like, damn, it's tough. It is tough for folks out here. So don't be deceived, man. There's no such place in that. Basically, it's in here. Like this is where you build your temple. This is your sanctuary right here. So wherever you are, you're home, and you make it great. All right, by just not getting involved and then relaxing yourself. There's too much politics, there's too much bullshit out there. Excuse my French. And so, what are we supposed to do, man? So anyways, the search goes on. So I want to get into just because it's me rubbing skin close to this industry, right? And for example, prop firms is something that I the kind where you not the prop firms, but like proprietary firms where you fund your accounts, right? This is something that I'm interested in, but however, I don't want to, so you have offshore brokers, right? And Seychelles and all these islands out of Malta, Bahamas, but they accept crypto to fund your CFD accounts, right? Your futures accounts and stuff like that. So you can trade all sorts of equity, commodity, everything there. But then you have these prop firms, and they don't offer you any tools to basically take crypto and convert it to fiat and use that. And it's important to me because I am mostly trying to stay in crypto, because it's like Bybit card, Binance card, whatever, but Bybit card is where it's at. Again, not available to US and Canadians. Canadian and United States citizens, because I don't know why. It's just but if you're out in Australia, for example, if you have a residential address in Australia, you get a card there. Probably other countries too. I don't know. But you have all these instruments. Like Bybit is so amazing with the recovery alone. When those guys recovered from the biggest hack, I was surprised that it kind of flew under the radar, and nobody talked about it. At least not in our Discord. Everybody was like, I guess there's no skin in the game. No one is I'm heavily invested in Bybit, right? I have a good relationship with the owner. I have a good relationship with the team. And not because I made them rich or anything like that, but just because, I genuinely showed interest in the beginning in this exchange and their structure. And the guys, Ben Zhao is coming from a Forex background, there's a lot of similarities in terms of trading, understanding what it's like to have an in-house trading desk and, not trading against your clients, but then providing these sophisticated products to diversify your portfolio. And so that recovery from a 2 billion loss, you guys understand that it was bigger than FTX. It was bigger than all these other hacks, Bear Stearns, banks, Silver Bank and all those guys. It's incredible the way they handled it. And it's no one ever brought it up. I don't know why. To me, I'm still kind of blown away because I was calm because I knew the leadership is not full of it. They're gonna handle it, right? And then Kick, share the stream, man. Share the stream. Don't be lurking. No lurkers around here. Not on YouTube. YouTube, we have 1, 2, 6. Welcome to the chat, guys. 6 concurrent viewers, and very niche kind of stream situation happening here, where it's mostly T chat, but also charts. So hey, looks like it's 1.68% on the day. You know that low over there? We're looking at the low over here. This is probably, I can blow the chart up on the screen, but I don't want to do this because it's you know, these live streams are meant to be sort of like community centric sessions, Q&A stuff, and you know, just drinking tea together. But other times we can have like a full-blown analysis window, full screen, so you can see things clearly. But mainly, if you have been watching Bitcoin, to all of you guys who are maybe, I doubt I have any new viewers right now, but to the 7 of you watching right now, you know, this whatever is going on Bitcoin right now, I don't want to say I called it, but I kind of called it. I always do, and this is no different. So 107 is target level. So if we have this final break today, expect price to just kind of dip towards that 107 level and quickly reverse. That's all I'm gonna say. And you're gonna see that happen over and over and over again with my setups, my predictions, just because, to be frank, I have an eye for that. It's a well-trained eye that's been in the game for a long time. And so when I see something like this, when I see Bitcoin, you know, I've been bearish from the top. If you go back to my YouTube posts, and price action dependent, right? But even the pump from a few days ago, I said, you're not gonna trick me into this, man. There's no way. That's an excellent question. Imran Mirza, one of the best traders in our Discord, is coming through with a question. He says, hello, how many cups of tea you drink every day to make 1%? So the ratio is like 10% to 1, right? So if you're aiming for 1%, you gotta get 10% of your supply in before you see that 1% on your account. But these are, you know, my trades are quiet. They're like a little bit oversized at times, right? There's really no time to plan and calculate, because if you're doing that for a swing trade or something, then yeah, you spend time. But here, if you see like the momentum is rising, I don't know if you can see on the chart, but you can see like the support over here is bouncing, and immediately your thought is like, okay, this wick is demand. If you go back and look at Bitcoin, there's like wicks. Every time there's a long wick relative to all other wicks, you can expect price to travel a little bit. And all I really need is $200, $300 travel distance. You know, right? Trading comparisons. Yeah, you're still on your phone. What a soldier! I love you, man. Thank you. It means a lot. We have 9 concurrent viewers, 1,680 subscribers. The number's not going up, but the viewership is going up. So I appreciate it. 2 likes. The like ratio is off again. Yesterday I had to mention it. I had to remind folks. I said, you know, we have 8 viewers. 1 like, let's go, and then 10 likes came in. And the reason I have to beg for these likes, and I need your guys' help, is because I'm battling the algorithm. Some time ago, I disabled all monetization on my channel on YouTube, and YouTube kind of saw Cryptopocalypse now as a, you know, second-hand, sort of third-tier channel that we probably shouldn't promote. So if you discover this channel and you like what you're seeing, please leave a like. It's gonna help the algorithm to, to counterweight it, and your voice counts, and that's what a like is. Thank you, 4 likes in. Really appreciate it. But trading comparisons, have a good day out there. And if you're still with us, here's 1 cup for your health, for your prosperity, for your wealth, and for your health once again, because that's the most important thing. Let's go. This is for trading comparisons. Sending the vibes your way. Now this is the internet, but I'm telling you guys, if you look into energy work and you understand science a little bit, bioelectricity, you can sort of start to appreciate when somebody does this. You don't get mad anymore. You're like, they're not trying to stop me, they're trying to bless me. So it's you who picks up on whatever it is. One time I was sitting with this Buddhist monk, and he was telling me how he was driving one day and somebody flipped him off, and they threw a middle finger. They gave him the bird, and he's straight out of Tibet, so he's sitting there laughing about it. I said, man, that's kind of like, why would they do that, right? He's like, no, bless them, because like in my Mahayana tradition of Buddhism, this, like when you do fingers like this basically, and you stand there in the prayer with the middle finger up to the sky, this is actually, he explained that the pinky is earth, the next one, the no name is water, right above that, the middle finger is fire, and the one above it is wind. So, and the thumb stands for void. So basically void is like it's everything, it's quantum physics, and when you connect, this is why you have like statues like this, or like this, or like this, or, they do all these hand mudras, they call it, right? And so he was telling me like the middle finger is actually like something that you can burn through any illness with that sign pointed up. Because in my understanding, I was like, this man is blessing me, and he got so ecstatic and happy about it, and he was really grateful for that person flipping him off, because he couldn't really connect. So my understanding, your understanding is, you'd be like, fuck, bro, what are you doing? What is this? Take that back, Probably, I don't know. I wouldn't actually do that, but you know what I'm saying. Like a typical reaction would be something like that from a normal person. But then you go on and interpret these things differently, and that's energy work, alchemy. You take something, you convert it into something else. Anyways, worth looking into. I highly recommend it. And so what I'm saying is, trading comparisons just got the got that fire. Hope you have a good session out there, my friend. Yes, I know nothing. You caught a live, and we're gonna be here the same time tomorrow, and also one stream evening time, just to make sure that we're on the road to 2,000 subs. It's been like this for a while now. I'm talking about that static 1,689. I don't know if it's like it's supposed to change, because we did gain 2 more followers. Let's go. 2 more followers, guys. 2 more subscribers on our YouTube channel, and we're trying to bring it to 2,000. So share this with your friends. Spam some Discords and Telegrams, and yeah, that would be the best way you can support the stream. You can also try using super chats. Give it a go. I have super chats set up. You might be surprised. what you see or what you hear, depending on how much you drop. So feel free. I'm just saying, it's there for your convenience. I really want to get into the streaming culture of in general, not like trading related, but my audience is people on the more serious side of things, you know, families, professionals, and I'd like to have like younger viewers as well, because I think, you know, I have kids, and they're when they grow up, I'll probably employ them and make them work for the fund, and I'll teach them all this, right? So there's very little difference between what I'm sharing here and what I will be applying to my own children in the future. So this makes me very selective in terms of, you know, skipping the BS altogether and just sticking with the essence of what works, right? And presenting that sort of thing to you all. And so I'd really love to have some viewers, because I see, you know, school kids are doing great today. I don't know what your opinion is about majority of kids out there, but they're so advanced, they're hands-on, they've got access to information, got access to AI, practical things, crafts, you know, the world is theirs basically, right? The younger generation. But I'm not seeing like too much emphasis on finance education for children. And more importantly, like market education. Let's not be broad and say finance. Like, what are we talking about here? We're talking about like looking at these charts, and not like raising gamblers, but getting them to understand. Like, for example, if you talk to your child about you know, relationships and stuff like that, right? I don't know if you have children or not. It doesn't really matter. But if you do have, see, as soon as I start talking about children, there's 2 concurrent viewers over here. Good riddance. All right, but anyways, this is important. This is important. All right, let me give me a moment here. This is important. And when you start talking about relationships, you know, most dads or moms are out there be like, son, you gotta use protective measures, rubber. And you know, maybe in your mind you're like, nah, it's gonna be much more in depth than that. I'm gonna make sure to let it be known, you know. But most vessels in the form of fathers or mentors, they kind of let, you know, they force the information out, like the learned self kind of exposes what's in them, and so they go, you know, you have to protect yourself, don't do this. So there's a couple of rules and stuff, and that's not really, there's a better way. Let's just put it this way. There's a better way where you can talk about maybe like look into Tantra or Taoist practice of retention techniques, right? Energy, like how to be successful, and you're gonna spill that game. You're gonna talk that game to the youngins, and you're gonna teach them that. Did you know that there are factors that affect outcomes, and it's not entirely up to us, but we can be the masters of our environment? And so, like energy retention. You know, don't go out there and start spilling things, you know, like emptying your bank account. It's very important. It's very important not to spill, for example. And then you start looking into it, and you read a book or two, and you get to know some masters. Mantak Chia, for example. Look him up, Mantak Chia. And it opens up your world, and you're like, whoa, wait a second. There's actually like this, the trading, the charts depend on the level of my energy. And what is male energy? Well, it's all sexual. It starts from the bottom chakra. And you might be sitting there thinking like, oh man, come on, here we go with the chakras. Listen, it's just a reference point. Just like your trend lines on the chart where you're like, this is a trend line. I'm telling you, a chakra is a trend line. It starts at the bottom, goes up your spine into your brain. And male people, you know, there's very little difference between the seed and the brain and the spinal brain. So every time you release yourself out into the wild, you're kind of like, you're becoming stupid. You're draining your actual brain power, like physically, and then everything goes to crap. And so like you learn that, you pass that on to your children. Now you don't have to worry about them doing silly things. Now it's real education. It's not something that you can find in school. So homeschooling is not like, let's get some math books and drill this subject. It's more like, let me explain the physiological effects of this energy play. Let me talk about psychological effects of all of this, and how it affects your performance when you're dealing with, for example, financial instruments, charts, interpretation, and emotion. Your reservoir of this 1% esoteric knowledge goes a long way. I'm just saying, it's worth looking into. And so this stream, I'd like to get kids and people to just kind of, maybe I should tame it down a little bit, make it kid friendly, but I would really, really love to get into the education aspect of, showing this stuff to those that are interested, because I see them, they're flipping bikes. They're like barely 14, 15, but they're out there flipping bikes, cars, cards, just making it happen. And they have huge networks. We're talking about school. If my family knew that I had a YouTube channel, I'd probably blow up. If anybody knew that I had a YouTube channel, they'll just say, "Dad, what the hell? We didn't know you like this." And I'm like, yeah. All my nieces and my nephews would be like, networking the shit out of it. And but that's not the point. The point, it's not volume. It's everything has to happen organically. You got to get there. You got to get to that point. So we are on the road to 2,000 subs, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it's all about. The subscribers counter is not changing, and I'm going to look into it right now. So if you have any questions, energy-wise, I used to run a temple. Like really, I used to be out there. And all of my friends mostly are spiritual leaders and thought developers, and they got seminars, they got books, and the reason, because I was working so hard when I was here with the working for the money manager. It was so I migrated to South Korea because of the regulatory environment here, with which was very welcome for crypto specifically, and I was super interested in finding someone to work for in terms of this new instrument back in the day, right? Bitcoin was starting to become a point of, before all the institutional presence that everybody knows of, right? Before the major announcements on CNBC, institutions were already sort of getting into it, tapping into it, studying, hiring people to do their due diligence, understand the networks. So there was like the education revolution was taking place underground. And then once people understood, once money started flowing in, they came out and told you, hey, I bought Bitcoin. And now now you're like, oh, institutions are here. They were here a long time ago. And why am I saying this? I don't know, what was I saying? But yeah, so after migrating here, there was like a language barrier, and I didn't really have any business here. Most of my business was in other countries. I had something set up in Canada, I had something in Dubai, and things like that. And so I was like, what do I do? And I started to tap into like this Tai Chi thing. I started doing the moves and everything, and eventually that led me to interacting with like monks in the Jogye order of Buddhism. So, like, if anybody comes and visits me, we're probably not gonna go and hang out. First of all, like, I don't drink I don't smoke. I don't do any of those things. So there's nothing really in common between me and the next person, because that seems to be the theme these days. Hey, let's do something together. What you're going to do with me is you're going to go and visit some of the most amazing private view temples up in the mountains and talk to some monks and people who have been around the world, and sit down and drink tea with ministers and prosecutors and directors of country import policies and stuff like that, because they all go there and they bring their alms and they buy prayer. People buy prayers these days. They go to the temples to like offer donations, and in the end they're like, please bless me, right? And here are the family members, pray for them, right? And so the monk sits there and just sends that energy out and manifests. It's a good practice, all right? I don't care if anybody believes in it or not, but it's no harm can come out of it. It's a good exchange. And so I saw a lot of that there, and so yeah, when it comes to kids, I can see how this stuff can help them. If the topic of the conversation is not necessarily about trading and TA, but this. So you can be the guy who says, use rubber, or you can be the guy who says, don't spill the seed. And that's all you have to do. Why? Let's explore. You get into it. You get into the Taoist alchemy of energy transformation. And you understand that everything is energy. And then you start feeling Wi-Fi in your house. And you're like, oof, that's 5.2 gigahertz over there. Well, how did you know? It's like, dude, yeah, trust me. So when I look at these charts, there are vibrations. There are structures and architecture that is alive. And so I understand very well. So when it comes to like, because it's like, where are these sheep gonna go? Where are the people gonna go? And sheep, I love sheep. I am a sheep myself, not sheeple, sheep, right? Where are they gonna go? Well, they go the trodden path. They go to where it's the path of least resistance. You see, there's an opening, they go there. And so that's what Price is doing. Like, why fight it? Why trying to see what you want to see instead of what everybody, like all these candles, these are just sheep. Imagine that every candle is a sheep, or like a lot, one lot. Trading NASDAQ, one lot is there's like 10 sheep in that, right? One tick, $10, pips, whatever. And so you have it set up. So before you become a trader, before you tap into this, understand that you're dealing with this is an energy field market. No, not windmills, not electricity or power or whatever. Energy as in subtle energy, very proprietary energy. And if you're dealing with proprietary indicators and systems, but don't have the proprietary lifestyle and understanding for it, it's probably not going to work. So it's a really, really good idea to just practice something out there. For me, these are the things that I describe. For you, it might be, based on the more established forms of maybe systems like Stoicism or Hermeticism, or it's got to be something that has been battle tested. Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, whatever it is, right? But you gotta find something in there. For me, I found something that doesn't interfere with other spiritual practices, and this is Tao. The Tao is the way of doing things. And so tea, I love Turkey, for example, right? The Silk Road and everything. Tea's got history and stuff. The British involved with there's lots of history here, but it is a certain type of energy drink that has immense benefits, lots to offer to specifically traders, especially if they're into this this field of studying and applying practices. Practicing is everything here. And so in today's society, it becomes so cliche to say, oh, you got to meditate. You have to meditate, but it's not so easy to just sit down and do nothing, believe it or not. And but that's what trading is. Imagine that. It's when you're trading, it should be imperceivable to an outer eye. So when people look at it from the side and they observe you and they say, what does he really do? You know. And this is not something that you learn in school. So it's very, very wise to look into these things and explore a little bit of Tao and mix it in with your trading just in case. You might find your final edge in that study specifically. You know, no need to be afraid of it. And I mean, health benefits alone, right? I'd rather go practice some Tai Chi than go to the gym, for example, because inner muscle development is just as important as being fit outside. But inner muscle, you can't see it, so you don't know what needs fixing. So these practices let you see inward, so you can identify what is up, what is wrong. So you can conquer depression, so you can rise above the BS, so you can love society instead of hating everybody and disagreeing with them, so you can accept things for what they are. It's all in here, it's all inside. So you can look at the market and step away and not trade and be able to resist. Now that practice alone, the resistance to lust, temptation, you know, the gambler inside, the breeder inside, you know, you got to stop those guys and say like, no, I am in control. You're not in control. Whatever this is. Sometimes you do things and you're like, where did that come from? And clearly it's not you. People get into shit and then they're like, that was not me. I swear to God, that was not me. That was I don't know what took over me. Ooh, it's real now. Something took over. Something took over. It wasn't you. You would never do this. No, you know better than that. But something took over. So, drinking tea occupies you with the process of self-reflection. Because if you don't drink tea, you're probably doing something else. And that something else in this world could be a million other things. And if, you know, for a trader who just sits on his hands most of the time, watches for an opportunity to arise, yeah, it's a very dangerous position to be in, to be sitting on hands. So you occupy yourself with useful stuff like drinking tea, reading a book, but that gets in the way of the process here. It's better to empty your mind altogether when dealing with charts. Everybody left. They're like, I'm not ready. It's okay, it's okay. Do share the link with your friends and family members when you feel like maybe this is different. Maybe all the clout and the hype is not really helping me out there. Maybe the tried and true template of scamming everybody and chasing numbers is not what I want to associate myself with. Maybe I want to just relax and drink some tea with CR and talk about these things. And if this is your thing, if you're interested, if you're looking into it, you know, I'm here. I am your friend. So, money should never be the motivator for any of this. you come to trading thinking like, oh, this is income based, the baseline is there, right? You understand. You're like, okay, this is it is trading, but making money is good and all. It's just it should be like a side effect, a byproduct of the cumulative, all the things, all the doings, all the experiences that you have lead to you working more efficiently, you becoming a better version of your yesterday trader. The trader that you are today should always be better than the one that was yesterday. So it's very, I'd like to focus on good things, but it's very unfortunate that in our community, and it's unfortunate, it's natural, right? The selection of those who survive and those who don't make it, or those who even like have the attention span or the ability to keep interest and keep trying and keep trading is very low. So majority don't make it. And this kind of reflects, I probably have the most realistic numbers in terms of subscribers, Discord members, and people who show interest, because it's not, you're not gonna have any friends doing this. So as soon as you realize that, you kind of stop, you get liquidated. The market liquidates you, it doesn't need you. And it tells you come back another day. And you don't have it. So you give up. That's like 90%. And so yeah, it would be nice to get some viewers who are younger, and this is why I'll be doing these streams every day, regardless if I have 0 or 1 million viewers at the same time. It's not gonna change a thing. The point is to get the exposure right now, because I really want to reach audiences, and especially younger audiences, that can have a reliable source where they can learn a thing or two about themselves and risk management, the whole anatomy of a good trade setup. And I have not seen anyone do that out there. Everyone is just pursuing their own selfish little reasons. They use platforms like these for marketing, and marketing is good if you need to get the word out there for whatever it is that you're working on. But what they market out there is not something that I can agree with. And so, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. We got about 5 minutes to go. We're gonna have one more cup. And wrap it up and have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead of us. Asian sessions are regressions, so they chop, like I said, they always chop, or they follow the direction of whatever major move happened the day prior. And so right now we have a sideways consolidation. We're not even tapping that yellow line right there. Look at it. Look at it. We're so scared that we're front running the ad, because like, oh, what if I better take profit. So look at this, price is reversing, but I am long towards that level. I'm gonna stay long until I tap it. We're in such a squeeze right now that just like yesterday, I'll leave you with 5 minutes of wisdom. Just like yesterday, this uprising here, look, that was like a few hours ago. It came up, failed, but as soon as it broke the previous low, you should have known that the break of the, so come on. One, and then right here on the candle, zip, all of that broken, right? That's enough. And you're like, man, throwing a stop loss right here on the lower high, and riding it to the lower low. There's support here, so major reaction. So you're capturing like this little tiny area, and you're like, man, that's nothing. And then you measure with the ruler, you're like, holy, that's $1,000. So chart vision, you can't just look at these charts and be like, oh, that's 2-3 candles is all you need, my friends. 2-3 candles. But the select few, I know nothing. Young kids can't do it, unfortunately, CR. They want the beats pumping, the hype train trading like a poker machine. That's because they don't know any better. They don't know any other. It's not like they want. That's all they know. It's not like they have a choice. No one is giving them the choice. The world is very tunnel vision, and it's like, yeah, this is. You guys listen to the beats, do the train, the hype, the poker machine, and talk a certain way. Nobody's giving them an alternative. That's all I'm saying. It's not really their fault. It's our fault. Come on, as grown up traders, let's be responsible and say like, man, we have been miseducated, but now we can correct that, so we can It's like, why do any of this? It sounds annoying. But that's an attitude issue. Annoying should not be an emotion. Because what is annoying? Annoying is going against your wishes, your outlooks, and what you wish to see, and it's not happening, and it's annoying you because it's contradicting So not wanting things to be any different is what I have been practicing for many years, and because of that, I cultivate love. I don't know, it sounds so cliche. That's why I never talk about this, because it's like the minute you take this seriously, this whole thing, and you start talking about like, we should be on a spiritual path. We should do it like, no, we shouldn't do those things. We should do these things. That's where you go wrong. That's when you walk off the path, and now you're an enforcer of all the unnecessary regimes that you can come up with in the world. So I don't know, kids just need. I see some kids, like if you go to YouTube and you look into certain things like crafts, it's not all of them. What you see out there on the streets, yeah, that's exactly as you described, for sure. Schoolyards, you see that, but they're exceptional, and the problem with them is they're gated either by parents or the system, where they're like, oh, you're not an appropriate age to know these things. My 8-year-old son can probably outtrade, I'm sorry, like 80% of our Discord members, just because, she comes over and she's like, Dad, we're at support. And I was like, I can see that, honey. And she's like, clearly there's a wick. I think there's lots of buyers here concentrated. And I was like, I look at her and go, let me just confirm this real quick. Throw on MarketSpy. Bam! Something is happening. One of the great fives are on the chart. And I'm like, you're right. Should consult you more often. But, you can't do that. Energetically throw things off. You got to be responsible and find resolve yourself. Can't rely on some oracle out there, no matter how accurate they are. So anyways, that's all I'm saying. Hey guys, 1 hour in, I promised I delivered. Did we gain any subscribers, chat? No, we did not. Maybe we did. This thing is not updating. 1,680 on the road to 2,000. On the road to 2,000. So road to 2,000 subs, let's do it. If you have any friends, if you feel that it would be if it exposes you as a trader, and if you share this channel and this gives it away and tells them that, hey, you've been into crypto trading, then by all means, keep it to yourself. Stay subscribed, I appreciate you. But if you have common-minded, like-minded people out there that you connect with, share the channel and tell them, hey, subscribe to CR, why not? Let's drink tea together. Until next time, guys, we're gonna have a session in about 8 hours, and I'll see you then. Sleep well, rest well, work well, and we'll connect in whichever way we can according to the universe. Here's one for you, my friends, for your health. Woo! Special shout out to Kick viewers. You guys are awesome. Channel is brand new, but you're already there. We're rocking it. Thank you so much. Stay subscribed, stay hydrated, and never liquidated.